die with respect, die with a degree of dignity. It's nothing to death, it's just stepping over into another plane.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 20 of the darkest and most upsetting scenes in documentaries made for TV and streaming.
Every time I keep watching it, for some reason my mind doesn't want to believe it's true.
The Bloody Staircase. The Staircase.
Durham police this morning are investigating the death of a prominent city resident. The officers were called early this morning to the home of Nortel executive Kathleen Peterson, who was found dead in her Forest Hills mansion after apparently falling down the stairs.
A French documentary about the trial of Michael Peterson. The staircase in question refers to the bloody one in the Peterson home. The blood belongs to Kathleen Peterson, the late wife of Michael. Some claim she fell down the stairs. Others think she was attacked by an owl. Many think that Michael murdered her. Regardless, we see many different shots of the bloody staircase, the camera lingering on the splattered walls and soaked steps. It's a highly disturbing visual, and by repeatedly going back to it, the documentary forces viewers to confront the brutal reality of Peterson's death.
Once I approached the victim, there was just a very abundant amount of blood on her, on the floor, on the walls.
The confession, the Jinx.
Inside that envelope was this note, Susan Berman's address, 1527 Benedict Canyon, the word cadaver.
Probably the most famous ending in true crime history belongs to The Jinx, the Emmy-winning documentary from HBO. After being confronted with damning evidence, Durst retreats to a bathroom, unaware that his microphone is still on. He then makes what many perceive as a confession, telling himself that he killed them all. The moment feels chilling, not only because it suggests a spontaneous admission of multiple murders, but also because of its eerie intimacy, a private thought accidentally made public. Other people believe that the comment was misconstrued, but regardless, it was enough. The ending attracted huge attention, especially as Durst was arrested for Susan Berman's murder just one day before it aired. He was convicted in 2021 for her murder.
What the hell did I do? Kill them all, of course.
Interviewing the stabbers, beware the Slender Man.
Tell me about him.
He watches you.
How does he watch you?
He can read minds and he has teleportation skills.
Why did you decide to stand Peyton?
It was necessary.
Another HBO documentary, another disturbing act of violence. Beware the Slender Man chronicles the stabbing of Peyton Leutner, who was attacked by Anissa Weier and Morgan Geiser in order to appease the Slender Man. The stabbing itself is not seen, but the documentary focuses on the police interrogations of both Weier and Geiser, both of whom coldly and calmly describe the act of violence. The scenes are chilling, with the girls displaying a chilling combination of emotional detachment and childlike confusion. It exposes how fantasy can blur into delusion and serves as a haunting psychological portrait, equal parts horrifying and tragic.
I didn't want to do this.
Why did you do it then?
I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't.
The therapy sessions, Child of Rage, a story of abuse.
Are people afraid of you, Beth?
Uh-huh.
Who's afraid of you, Beth?
John.
Your brother. And why is your brother afraid of you?
Because I hurt him so much.
Speaking of disturbing child interviews, it doesn't get much worse than HBO's Child of Rage, a story of abuse. The documentary consists of therapist-led interview segments with a girl named Beth Thomas, who is suffering from severe behavioral problems. The therapist asks Beth direct questions about the horrific abuse that she has endured and the cruelty that she inflicted on others, like sticking pins in her brother. Her flat, almost expressionless recounting of violent acts creates a disconcerting contrast with her childlike appearance, and her recounting of sordid details from her past are horrifically tragic. The interviews expose the raw, unfiltered trauma of a young child who is simultaneously victim and perpetrator, and it forces the viewer to confront how severely abuse can warp development.
Are they afraid that you might hurt them?
Yep.
Would you, Beth?
Mm-hmm.
When would you do it?
Right, Tom.
The stories, Surviving R. Kelly.
She was a teenager. She was young. you can tell what's young. I don't know if they were together. When I went to another room, there was a girl in that room with the lights out, waiting.
We can't pick just one. They're all extremely painful. Surviving R. Kelly famously examines the allegations of abuse by the famous musician, featuring first-hand accounts from women who suffered under his control. Naturally, each and every one of these stories serves as an emotional gut punch, going into lurid detail about what Kelly did and how he was able to do it for so long, despite repeated warnings and public accusations. The series explores how power, fame, and influence can be used to exploit others, and it also raises major questions about the responsibility of fans, the music industry, and society to hold powerful figures accountable for harmful actions. Luckily, we did hold Kelly accountable, and he has since been sentenced to 31 years in prison.
He came up once and grabbed me by my arm in the room and dragged me down the hallway because I talked back to him. I was kicking and screaming and crying.
The Riot, Trainwreck, Woodstock 99.
We are going to get out of here.
Yes.
I think we're going to go.
It's time to go.
It's getting pretty intense.
They were like, we're done, we're out. And they loaded us onto the bus.
The first in Netflix's Trainwreck series, Woodstock 99 chronicles, well, Woodstock 99, aka one of the worst concerts ever. The documentary explores the exceedingly poor planning of the event, its unsanitary conditions, and the growing anger among attendees. But as aggressive acts like Limp Bizkit fuel the crowd's rage, chaos erupts. Property is destroyed, fires are set, and vendors are looted. There were even reports of sexual assaults, adding to the surreal horror. Trainwreck tells the story of this ghastly riot with first-hand accounts and frightening footage, both professional and amateur. No matter what lens it's viewed through, the footage displays a nightmarish symbol of corporate greed, toxic masculinity, and the violent undercurrent of 90s youth culture spiraling out of control.
Boom, we're like, whoa! Boom! It was like a bomb going off in the middle of the festival grounds, and another bomb goes off.
Beata's death. Take care of Maya.
Is there any way that even just momentarily she could just see her mom just to like hug her mother?
I'm afraid not. Not today.
A harrowing Netflix documentary, Take Care of Maya, follows the story of Maya Kowalski, a 9-year-old kid diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome. After she's taken to Johns Hopkins All-Children's Hospital, the staff come to the conclusion that Maya is a victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and that her mother, Beata, is abusing her. She is then taken into state custody. The Kowalskis vehemently fight this, uncovering a potential conspiracy regarding Johns Hopkins and privatized child welfare services. Unfortunately, there is no happy and tidy ending here. Beata loses several court hearings, and at one point is rejected a single hug from her daughter. Despondent, and believing that her daughter will never be free if she's alive, Beata takes her own life.
So Peter was walking around the house. He walked in the garage. There was a scream that I'll never forget.
Michelle's death. I'll be gone in the dark.
I'll never forget it. I was driving home, and I remember Patton calling me. I think it was right when it happened.
Released in the summer of 2020, HBO's I'll Be Gone in the Dark follows true crime writer Michelle McNamara as she writes her nonfiction book of the same name. It chronicles the then unsolved crimes of the Golden State Killer, a moniker that McNamara herself helped create. The introductory episodes follow McNamara's obsessive search for the elusive killer, but the show soon throws us a devastating curveball. McNamara suddenly dies in her sleep, aged just 46. Of course, we knew about this going in, as the book was published posthumously. Still, hearing her distraught friends and family discuss her death is absolutely heartbreaking, especially when it comes to her grieving husband, Patton Oswalt.
It was terrifying. I remember I did that thing where I like closed my eyes and I tried to will this as a nightmare, and then it just wasn't.
Johnny's final moments. The boy whose skin fell off.
It's going to be a busy summer. Johnny's determined to learn to fly, pay a call on number 10, and have a huge housewarming party in his new dream home. But first, there's the funeral to sort out.
In 2004, Channel 4 aired a widely acclaimed documentary called The Boy Whose Skin Fell Off, whose title alone promises some difficult viewing. The boy in question is Johnny Kennedy, a British man with a rare condition called dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa. We watch in morbid curiosity as Kennedy grows sicker and sicker, including the traumatic final moments when he's on the verge of death. And just when you think it can't get any worse, Kennedy dies, the camera lingering on his pale and motionless corpse. The visuals of the sick Kennedy are sad enough, but for someone who has never seen a dead body, the images of Kennedy's body may be way too hard to handle.
She's done her job. She's gone and looked after him till the end.
Recounting the murder, the trials of Gabriel Fernandez.
Oh, he's got a bullet in his lung. Oh, he's got a bullet in his groin. It's like cigarette marks that people have been putting cigarettes out on him, and different stages. I mean, he'd have a bruise that looks like it's almost healed, bruises that look brand new, like burns, cuts, abrasions, everything you could think of all over this kid.
Anyone sensitive to crimes against children, be advised. Stay well clear of Netflix's The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. The opening 10 minutes or so are especially gruesome, as it recounts in horrifying detail the murder of Gabriel Fernandez. In September 2012, Fernandez was given to his biological mother, Pearl Fernandez, and Pearl's boyfriend, Isaru Aguirre, after years of living with his grandparents. He lived there for just 8 months, and during that time, he endured unimaginably cruel treatment. He eventually died on May 24, 2013, a combination of blunt force trauma and malnutrition. The story is bad enough, but when combined with the documentary's visuals, it proves downright nauseating.
I thought, this kid has never known love. This kid has never known what it feels like to be hugged. You know what I mean? And that just breaks your heart. This was the case for me, in 14 years in the ER, this was the case that just has followed me from that night.
Coming Clean, American Murder, The Family Next Door.
The hard part. We haven't left the details where they're at.
We can help you get them out of the cold. They're gone. There's no bringing them back.
Well, where are they?
A huge hit for Netflix, American Murder tells the story of the Watts family murders from 2018. Shannon Watts and her 2 children disappear, prompting pleas for help from her husband, Chris. Of course, suspicion quickly falls on Chris himself, owing mainly to his public behavior, specifically his complete lack of emotion. In the documentary's darkest scene, Chris fails a polygraph test and is accosted by investigators, where he eventually admits that he murdered both Shannon and the children and dumped their bodies at his remote job site. The Family Next Door is a great subtitle for the documentary because, as the spine-chilling sequence displays, real horror is often found in the unlikeliest and most unassuming of places.
Are you sure?
What's going to happen? We're going to help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
You don't want them out there.
I don't want them out there.
And you don't want someone else to find them out there. You don't, I promise you.
The bomb goes off. Evil Genius. Another popular Netflix documentary, Evil Genius is all about Marjorie Deal Armstrong and her twisted, complex scheme to rob a bank, hire a hitman, kill her father, and claim her inheritance. And to rob a bank, she has a pizza delivery man, Brian Wells, kidnapped and strapped with a bomb collar, ordering him to rob the bank on her behalf. Like we said, complex scheme. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end well for poor Brian. In the opening episode, we see the poor delivery man sitting on the ground when the bomb collar goes off, immediately ending his life. Even by the loose standards of Netflix, the uncensored footage is extremely disturbing.
I kept hearing it was going beep, beep.
Magnotta's videos. Don't f with cats, hunting an internet killer.
I've never seen the video full on. I've never seen the whole thing. I've watched bits and pieces, but I've never seen the whole video. So here we go.
Even though we don't see the full, uncut versions, the videos of Luca Magnotta still prove incredibly perturbing. The Netflix documentary covers the crimes of Canadian murderer Luca Magnotta, who posted a series of animal cruelty videos to the internet before graduating to human murder. The series includes clips from the videos that Magnotta posted to the internet, including many upsetting shots of animals in distress. As for the murder of June Lin, the video is either cropped or blurred so that we don't see the gore. but the images that we do see are still very dismaying, as are the graphic depictions of the video spoken by those who are unfortunate enough to see it. This one isn't for the faint of heart.
The suspect comes up. He's got something in his hand, some sort of stabby tool, ice pick kind of looking thing.
Recounting cannibalism, the cannibal that walked free.
I don't want to kill, but I couldn't find any way to eat the girl's meat fresh, so I thought I have to kill.
Want to watch something really messed up? Watch the 5 documentary, The Cannibal That Walked Free. The title alone is enough to infuriate. The short documentary covers the story of Issei Sagawa, a Japanese murderer who killed Renee Hardeveld back in 1981 and consumed her flesh. Against all odds, Sagawa walked free owing to a legal loophole between his native country of Japan and France, where the murder was committed. Not only was he free, but he was able to partake in documentaries like this one, where he explicitly conveys his acts of cannibalism. Needless to say, his calm demeanor and graphic storytelling are blood-chilling and infuriating in equal measure.
The beautiful, erotic, and sexual girl. I decided to eat her up.
The crime scene, Paradise Lost, the child murders at Robin Hood Hills.
The police in West Memphis, Arkansas confirmed today that 3 young boys were brutally murdered. The bodies of Weaver Elementary School second graders Stephen Branch, Christopher Byers, and Michael Moore were pulled from a shallow creek earlier today.
A hugely popular documentary, Paradise Lost chronicles the frustrating story of the West Memphis 3, a group of Arkansas teenagers who were accused of murdering 3 young boys as part of a satanic ritual. The crime scene sequences are enormously unsettling, and intentionally so. The footage comes from police recordings and news reports documenting where the boys were found, with close-up of evidence like bindings. But what's most disturbing are the boys' bodies, pale, bound with shoelaces, and bearing severe injuries. Unlike some true crime shows, Paradise Lost shows actual footage from the crime scene, not dramatizations, and the knowledge that you're seeing real children's remains gives it a visceral impact that most viewers simply aren't prepared for.
According to the published report, Miss Kelly told police he watched 18-year-old Damian Eccles and 16-year-old Jason Baldwin brutalize the children.
Neglected children, the dying rooms.
From now on, she will be identified only by her luggage label. This gives her name, her approximate birth date, and the day she was brought in.
Considered one of the most disturbing documentaries ever made, The Dying Rooms was secretly filmed inside Chinese state-run orphanages during the early 1990s, when China's one-child policy was in force. As such, girls and disabled children were put into these orphanages, abandoned due to cultural pressures favoring male heirs. The footage is unimaginably horrible. Rows of cribs filled with malnourished, motionless babies not reacting to sound or touch, and Mei Ming, an extremely skeletal toddler that had been tied to a bed and left alone for days, too weak even to cry. The continued imagery of silent, expressionless babies and the quiet acceptance of their deaths by neglectful adults is profoundly unsettling.
The staff told us that this baby's health was normal.
The crash scene. There's something wrong with Aunt Diane.
We finally got the door open. That guy I was with, he opened the door, and her body fell on top of our legs.
On July 26, 2009, Diane Schuler traveled nearly 2 miles down New York's Taconic State Parkway in the wrong direction before colliding head-on with an SUV, killing 8 people. This HBO documentary attempts to make sense of Schuler's motivations, and as we know, HBO does not shy away from stark reality. The film includes tons of traumatic material, like distressing 911 calls relaying the incident in real time. But what really packs a punch are the post-crash photos, which depict obliterated vehicles and brief but mortifying shots of Schuler's corpse. Many viewers argued that the shots were gratuitous and unnecessary. Others argued they were important to the film's honesty, preventing the film from sanitizing death and thereby softening the audience's understanding of the tragedy.
And then we were just concentrating on getting the kids out of the burning car, where they were piled on top of each other. One of the fellas handed me the girl. I laid her down on the grass, put my head on her chest to hear her. I talked to her. I prayed to Jesus to help her wake up.
Jonestown footage. Jonestown, the life and death of People's Temple.
And they looked at her and said, "Is there any way to make it taste less bitter?" And she said, no, apparently not. And he said, "Is it quick?"
There are few things more disturbing than seeing over 900 corpses littering the ground. Airing on PBS, Jonestown, The Life and Death of People's Temple, is a 90-minute examination of Jim Jones and how he orchestrated one of the most infamous massacres of the 20th century. This story has been the subject of countless documentaries, but this one doesn't shy away from the brutal aftermath. It focuses heavily on the grisly sight of Jonestown after the act, nearly 1,000 corpses laying in piles around the central pavilion. The bodies belong to all walks of life, showing just how calamitous the Jonestown massacre actually was. It emphasizes that the 909 dead at Jonestown aren't just statistics, they were people.
As I walked up to the back of the pavilion, I saw a woman named Rosie on the ground, crying.
The Holocaust, the world at war.
What we went through will be difficult to understand even for our contemporaries, and much more difficult for the generations that have already no personal experience from those days.
ITV's The World at War is considered the gold standard of World War II documentaries, and one episode in particular chronicles the Holocaust. The imagery remains, to this day, some of the most disturbing ever broadcast on television, with piles of emaciated corpses stacked like firewood, shambling, barely alive survivors, and people being shot, burned, or any other manner of murdered. The film doesn't shy away from the brutality, but it never sensationalizes it either. The editing is slow and deliberate, forcing the viewer to linger on each individual image. For many, these were the first bits of footage from the Holocaust they had ever seen. And even if you saw it back in 1974, the images are still indelibly burned into your memory.
But there were electric fences, and beyond this fence there were SS guards. Escape was impossible.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Zachary's death. Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
He was found face upwards with his eyes wide open, and the policeman who found him said that he had wrapped him in a blanket.
Picked up by MSNBC and aired several times on the channel, Dear Zachary is considered by many to be the most disturbing documentary ever made. It begins as a tribute to the late Andrew Bagby, with his friends and family testifying about his good character for his unborn child, Zachary. The documentary was meant as a video letter for the child, but it had a shocking twist. It chronicles the baby's death at the hands of his mother. The film doesn't dramatize this, but the information still leaves viewers in stunned disbelief, not to mention tears. Kirk Kenny, who had spent years assembling this tribute for Zachary, now found himself making a memorial for both father and son. The emotional whiplash is profoundly demoralizing.
Oh, I don't know how many people were here, probably 300 or 400 people, maybe more, I don't recall.
I've never seen a coffin so small before. I shouldn't have them that size.
What do you make of these moments? Let us know in the comments below.